Good morning, good morning, good morning, YouTube. Good morning. Welcome to our early morning coffee talks. Listen, I've been debating talking about kids and marriage. And the reason being, I don't have kids yet, right? And I know many people get a little sensitive um, when it comes to be like, oh, well, you don't got kids, you don't know what you're talking about. Because I do have nieces and nephews and stuff like that. But I will say I'm around a lot of kids. I have friends who have kids. I have coworkers who have kids and stuff like that, and family members obviously who have kids. And I've been a kid, and I've been around a lot of kids. So I say that to say, when you marry, you have to run your household like a system when it comes to these kids, man. And I think a lot of husbands out there neglect their household when it comes to sharing the weight load of how to manage the household. And I think a lot of them lean into their wife more because maybe they don't know how, or maybe they just don't, feel like that's their role to help as much. And again, I'm not talking about if any of my friends and anybody watching this, I'm not talking about y'all specifically, but I am talking about my life specifically growing up. And this is like a perfect example. When I grew up, we grew up with it was six of us. Yeah, it was six of us and my aunt and uncle. And a lot of days, man, it was a lot of chaos in the house. There was no systems in place. And granted, hold on, let me give some caveat. Granted, my uncle got sick, right? Really sick with colon cancer. And he was down bad for years. And my aunt, she had to take on basically the whole household when it comes to finances. And I was also attempting to manage it. And then when you having to work that many hours, and you pursuing your own dreams, you having to take care of your sick husband, you know, something has to give. And unfortunately, to some degree, it was us, the kids. So we basically just ran around the house how we wanted to. And I look back at it, and I'm looking at like if things did go better, it could have been a better management system of the house. And that's just me looking at it. Like, we really didn't have times we went to sleep, what time we ate, what days stuff was being cleaned. Now let me give some little love. Yes, like, you wash the dishes tonight, or you take out the trash or you cut the grass. But on an everyday basis, not really. Not really. It was kind of chaos, especially when my uncle went down. But fast forward to now, me looking at hindsight, and just talking to a lot of different people. Um, yeah, especially now because most people work together, right? Most people work jobs together, meaning like a wife goes to work and a husband goes to work. Again, we are totally away from, in my opinion, traditional marriage when it was just the one household income. And so, both parties are going to work. And then, so when you come home, again, a lot of men expect the wife to just still do it all. Come home, clean, cook, get the kids ready, make sure they do their homework, make sure they take a bath, make sure they eat, cleaning up behind them. And that's not how it goes. You have to share the load. Like, if you know your wife cooking, why aren't you getting the kids, homework taken care of? Why aren't you, getting them situated where you're prepping them for tomorrow? Make sure they brush your teeth, whatever the case may be. Y'all lifestyle. You have to share the load, man. I think a lot of dudes just, I don't know, man, but they have to figure out a way to get into a system. And again, I've talked about this a long time ago. If you look at your daily schedule, right, which I preach, you guys got to write from when you start work to when you get off, right? After work, what are you doing? If you're going to the gym, or maybe you picking up the kids, bringing them home, how are you carving out time for yourself? Maybe if it's even 30 minutes, an hour. How are you carving out time for your wife? And so you have to have a schedule, man. You have to be anal about it because when there's no control, there's chaos. And again, I'm not expecting it to be 100% every day, right? Kids get sick, people get injured. Just it could be a lot of different factors that happen, right? I'm not saying it's not going to be exceptions, but on a regular, most days flow the same. Most days flow the same, and also, man, a lot of husbands feel like the wife shouldn't get no time off either. I don't know what's up with that. Like, you have to take the lead on that, husbands. You have to create that scenario where time can be allocated properly. It have to be properly, man. You got to sit down with your wife, sit down with your girl, whoever you with, and say, all right, look, this is how we got to move, right? If we want to be able to have the kids be successful, us be successful in the mix, we have to structure our time. We have to allocate time a certain way. So, okay, I spoke about it. There's typically 4 weeks in a month, right? All right, cool. When we get to the weekend, maybe it's the first of the month, right? We know mortgages due. We know rent's due. We're not going to do anything that weekend, as far as like anything extravagant and going out spending money on the kids or ourselves. We're going to do something at home, right? We're going to chill. We're going to play, board games at the house or whatever it is. Or maybe, hey, this is just a chill weekend. We're going to just chill, let the kids do their thing, play video games, whatever. The next weekend, maybe it's our date night, me and you, wife. We're going to go do something. But that's planning when it comes to, hey, we need to figure out babysitter situation, right? We need to figure out the money costs and who we got to pay to watch the kids, right? Maybe that third weekend, all right, wife, this your weekend, go take a few hours, do what you got to do for yourself, pamper yourself, take care of yourself. And then when you come back refreshed and not feel grind down. And then maybe that last weekend, the fourth week, I'm going to do something myself. Or maybe we do something for the kids, actually outside of the house. You know what I'm saying? So it could be done when it comes to the kids. But again, this is very surface level stuff. But you have to work together, man. It just don't make sense how it's just willy-nilly out here. Like, there's no structure. You like, all right, wife, figure it out. And you just throw the load on her. That don't make sense, right? Work together. You have to work together, man. So that's what I've seen in like a lot of scenarios. Again, I'm not talking any specific, if anybody see this that know me, I'm just saying what I've seen. I'm telling you what my household was when I grew up and how it could have just been better. Ran like a machine, ran like a system. And I think that that would have made it easier for us too, because then we would have got into a routine as kids. We would have knew, okay, when I come home, all right, I gotta do my homework, or I can eat a snack when I get home. Whatever it is, eat a snack when I get home. Do my homework. After my homework, okay, I got an hour or whatever to play. After that, okay, it's time for dinner. All right, okay, it's time for baths. Time to get ready to, get ready to go to bed. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a system, and you get into a routine of things. All right, cool. It's the weekend. I'm waking up. It's Saturday morning. What am I doing, right? Maybe I'll have time to play. Maybe I'll have to do, clean up my room on the weekend, right? And whatever the case may be. All right, cool. Now maybe it's time for family time. Then on Sunday, all right, maybe we're going to church, right? Getting up early, going to church. We get back home, we doing family stuff, whatever. It's time to get ready for school tomorrow. Maybe I'm getting out my clothes, or, maybe it's laundry day. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's a routine, like the kids will know that. Also, throughout the week, maybe you got chores. Put a schedule up. Who's doing what? And listen, kids are never too young to clean up. They're never too young to clean up. If they little hands can grab something, you can start to train them. You know what I'm saying? You can start to train them. But I think a lot of parents, and I've noticed this, just it's easy for them to just do it themselves because it's quicker to get done versus being patient with their kids to train them. Again, it's the choosing your heart, right? It's easier to just do it yourself, but the kids miss the lesson and the opportunity to learn. That way, it's easy for you down the road on them building the habits and building the know-with-all on how to actually help bring value to the house, because kids have to be put in a system that way they can contribute to the house as well. And then, because if they don't, what's going to happen is, as they get older, parents going to get mad at them and be like, oh, you don't never clean your room when I tell you how to do it. Because you never, you never train them properly. You can say you told them or I showed them, but you didn't train them. You can't just show them one time and expect them to get it. You have to create habits for them to do it, right? You have to create boundaries. That's another thing. You have to create boundaries when it comes to these kids, man. They got to know that who's the adults in the room. They got to know that, all right, hey, if I'm cooking dinner, you're not in the kitchen with me. You over there doing your homework, or you over there playing, or whatever the case may be, right? Hey, when it's time for mommy and daddy time, it ain't time for kid time. It's our time. You see what I'm saying? Or hey, when it's y'all time, we gonna focus on y'all. It's the boundaries of it, and that's just the system. The kids have to be, and it's not, again, you the parent, you're not their friend. You know what I mean? You can be friendly to your kids, but you're not their friend. You're that parent, because the whole goal of it is, me looking at it now, and again, this is my opinion, is you're preparing them for life, right? So you're ingraining skills in them. You're ingraining the systems and good habits for them for later. That way they know how to move, and they have some skills when they get in the real world. At a certain age, when do you teach them how to cook? Every day, if they can sleep in their bed, they can make up their bed. They're never too young to know how to make up their bed, to learn how to brush their teeth properly, know how to bathe themselves properly, right? These are things I wish growing up early that was installed in us, ingrained in us, and it's a lot more. Again, I'm very surface level with this, but the point is, when I started with husbands, you have to take the lead to install this system, in place, and you have to manage it. You have to manage it, and you have to support your wife, in the process, and making sure things are going according to plan. Y'all have to audit it every week. Hey, what's going on with this kid when it comes to school? What's going on with this kid with their doctor's appointments? What's going on with this kid with their behavior? What's going on? We need to check. Right? You have to manage the system, and then check in with each other on what can be improved and what can be tweaked in the system. But you have to work together. And husbands, you have to take the lead to implement that system. So you're not going to build it in one day. I think it's a framework, just looking at day to day what's really going on. And then from there, I think that you can start to implement things. So look at your daily schedule, right, from what you do, and then and you can kind of, again, mimic that to what goes on in the house, as far as like what time your kids wake up to what time they get home from school, what's going on the weekend. Just look at it, man. Just take the time to sit down, and really look at it and flesh it out. And I know it sounds crazy. Some of it sound crazy, but if you want the best productivity out of your household, you have to run it like a system. Before you kind of like how to run it like a household or like an army unit. That's how I look at it. But again, it creates healthy boundaries, and it creates a system of control in your household, and that way you can lead it properly. So anyway, y'all drop a comment below. Again, I don't have kids, but when I do have kids, this would be something that I implement, a system in place. And again, this is me looking at hindsight when I was a kid on how a system should have been in place. But again, things happen, right? I'm not just pointing fingers without any background on why things happen a certain way. Me growing up, But hey, like the video so we can share it out. Hit the notification bell. That way you're notified when I drop videos every day. And also, subscribe to the Husband Code if you've been watching a while. And if you're new here, subscribe as well. I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great Thursday morning. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.